Rabotai, like we said, this is a very special shiur telling us, it's a Rashi, I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to elaborate a little bit more, but I'm going to say that everyone here, and everybody listening, and everybody in the world, you have to understand who you are. And she tells us, you're a superstar. You are a superstar. Now, where does she say this? Where does she call you a star? So, in this week's Parashat, where it speaks about the Shemot of Bnei Yisrael, the first Ele Shemot Bnei Yisrael, it says, listen to this. Afal pi shemena'an b'hayehen b'shmotav. Rashi says, Hashem wanted to count us. Even we're alive, not only we're alive, Chazar u'mena'an b'mitatan. Chazar u'mena'an. He counted us after we were dead. Think about what's going on over here. Think about it. Right? Lehodia hibatan. To show you that the love that Hashem has for you, shenimshelu lekohabim. You are like stars. You're superstars. Now, why is that so important? Why is the comparison to us a superstar? Why is a star? So the answer is because Bnei Yisrael, you have to know, every single in the world, there's galaxies. There's the Gemara in Masechet Berachot, when it speaks about how many stars there are in the world, it's insane. You can't even imagine. And I want to just read it to you just a little bit. What it says in Masechet Berachot, Daf Lamed Bet Amud Bet. Amalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Bnei Yisrael, you know how much I love you? You know how much I love you? Biti, my daughter. Yud Bet Mazalot Barati Berakia. I created in the world 12 mazalot. Now he keeps on going on. Al kol mazal umazal barati lo shloshim chayil. Al kol chayil barati shloshim gyon. Kol gyon barati lo shloshim yaton. Kol yaton barati shloshim kiraton. Kol kiraton barati lo shloshim kiraton. And he keeps on going. The guy keeps on going. If you count the stars, how much they are in the world, it's insane. It is not normal. It's unfathomable, and it's just a wild number of stars. It's a wild number of stars. Like imagine sand, right? If I tell you go to the beach, count how many sands you are. Go to the whole beach, count how many sands you are. Sand, you can count the sand, how much sand there is. How much sand there is. Hashem is telling you, you are like, Rashi explaining to us that Hashem gives the mashal that you are a superstar. Now, what is that telling you? It's telling you that just like in a star in heaven, in Shamayim, it has its own separate name, and it has its own separate mission. So to you have your own separate mission that no other star can do. That means you're Jewish. That means you have a purpose. That means you have a tafkid in this world. And therefore your tafkid that you have, there's no other person on earth that can do what you can do. And now what do you have to do? I'm going to tell you tonight what you have to do. It's going to be a general rule, but it applies to everybody. So again, first thing is you have to know Rashi is explaining that Hashem loves us so much, and therefore the mashal is we're examples of stars. And what is a star? A star in the Shamayim, there's millions of stars, there's millions of Jewish people. And every single star has its own mission. Every Jew has its own mission. What is your mission? Eddie, what is your mission? I'm going to tell you. Retro. And it's not to eat the retro. It's not to eat, I'll tell you your mission. You ready? You want to give the shiur kavod? Come on. Give him the mic, give him the shiur. I'm going to tell you what your mission is. All right? I'm going to tell you first perek. Okay, Rabotai. I'm going to quote you what your mission is, and the mission is like Yeshaya says. Yeshaya perek mem gimel zayin. He tells us what's our mission. You ready? Kol nikra bishmi. V'lichvodi barativ yetzarti ve'af asitiv. You know what your mission in life is? Shall I tell you what your mission in life is? Lichvodi barativ. Hashem is saying, I created you to bring out one thing. You know what that one thing is? To bring out kavod shamayim. Why are you created? You created to what? To bring out to the world kavod shamayim. And nobody in the world can bring out the honor of God like you. That's it. Period. Facts. Done. Nobody in the world can give the kavod to the shamayim, to the whole world, like you could give the kavod. Every person is like a symphony. You know, every symphony has a whole thing. If they have, how many people they have in a symphony? They could have 300 people in a symphony. And if one person is off the beat, then the whole thing gets gazed. Like, oh, ding, oh man, what is this guy doing? He pressed the ding and the wrong ding. Everybody gets crazy. The world needs you because you bring out a different kavod shamayim that nobody else, individual in the world can do. And therefore your job in this world is, with your koach, with your power, with your strengths and your ability that God gave you, God-given gift, you have to bring out kavod shamayim. There's a very famous story. They came to, I think it was one Yid came to one of the big Rabbanim, Rosh Yeshivas, and he said, Rosh Yeshiva, if I had the emunah of the Hazon Ish, and if I had the Chazkel Yevenstein, if I had the head of the Brisker Up, I would be Gadol, I'll be the Gaon, I'll be the greatest of the greats. So the Yeshiva looks at the Bachar and says, let me tell you, Yeshiva Bachur, it's with your head, with your emunah, with your skills, that's what Hashem wants. He already has the Havetz Chaim. Havetz Chaim already exists. We have Rashi and we have Rambam. But do we have a you? No. Do we have a you? That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. He wants you with your kochot, with your challenges, with your upbringing, with your surroundings, with your whatever you have. Whatever nonsense that you might think that you're going through, whatever it is, Hashem says, I want you to strive and thrive through what I gave you. So yeah, you're right. Are you gonna be the Havetz Chaim? You could strive to be like the Havetz Chaim, but you'll never be, because guess what? You're you. You're you. And Hashem wants your qualities to come out, the ones that He gave you, for one reason. How are you gonna bring honor to Hashem as an individual? No individual has your strength, has your skill set, that is God-given gift to you, that you're the only one that can play the song of giving the honor to Hashem. Is that clear? I hope that's clear. Because now we're going to elaborate more. And therefore, everybody has to use his strength. And he has to understand one thing. That you have to imagine yourself, that you are, after we learned all this, that you're the only one in the world that can bring out the honor of God, then you have to believe in yourself that you're the only child of Hashem. Imagine right now, Hashem says, you're my only child that I have. I want you to know, you're my only child, you're my Ben Yachid. How are you going to serve Hashem? I'm the only one? Yes, you're the only one. And by the way, it's true. It's true. Because compared, when Hashem is looking down, He's saying, I want your kavod Hashem. I don't want His, I already have His. I already have His. I want yours. I want your honor to honor me. So therefore, in the eyes of Hashem, you are the only son that He has. Yes, in the eyes of Hashem, you're the only son that He has. You're right, He has other sons. Of course He has other sons and other daughters. But Klapei Hashem, that the only person that can give Hashem bring out the kavod of Shamayim is only you. That's it. You're the only kavod Hashem. I remember, I'll never forget, my friend and I were Meir Sultan. We were walking in Beit Vegan. We were walking in Beit Vegan, and we saw no other than the Rabbi. We said this before, Rabbi who? Who do we meet? Rabbi Yehuda Ades. Yehuda Ades, you have to know, he's the Rosh Yeshiva of a yeshiva called Kol Yaakov. It's in Eisel, it's in Beit Vegan. He had precision to show you how a gadol works his schedule. I was in my room, my dormitory room, when I was 19, and I told my friend Dave Franco and Yosef Dweck, they were both in the room, and we're sitting down. We had a balcony in the front of the building, and we're sitting down. I said, it was a Friday morning actually. I looked at my watch. I said, and I was sitting down, and they saw me sitting down. I said, in 3 minutes, if you go look, you'll see Rabbi Yehuda Ades walking. No way, can't be. They look out, he's not there. I was like, I didn't tell you now. I said 3 minutes. 3 minutes later, they walk out, they see Rabbi Yudadis. So how'd you know? He says, I told him I was calculating his schedule. Every Friday, before Shabbat, he goes somewhere, there's that, and exactly like a gadol, you have a mission, you do it, boom. He's like clockwork. And we saw him. My friend, Rameir Sultan, and I saw him. We said, Rabbi, can we get a beracha from you? And the rabbi, I love what he did. He said, you know what? Come walk me to my house. I'll bring you up to my house. Come. So okay, great. We go upstairs. His Robinson was there. He's sitting down with us. He gives us a drink. Very nice. We make shako. We do the whole gaze. So Rameir Sultan asked him, Rabbi, can I tell you something? Can you give us one etzah, one advice that you can give us? So he said, Hashem loves you more than you can ever imagine. Like, if you think about it, like you're his only son. Hashem views you. How much does Hashem love you? Hashem love you. Hashem loves you more than you love yourself. And it's as if you're the only child that he has in the whole entire world. Now, how do you feel by doing that? Like, wow. Well, right? Wow. Hashem loves me like that it's the only child he has. If you know a person that only has one child, you'll know all of a sudden all the love, wow, is given to him. So therefore, just like Hashem has one love for us, and where's the proof? Where's the proof? In the tefillin. You know what it says? What does it say in Hashem's tefillin? What does it say in our tefillin? What does it say in our tefillin? Anybody know? Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Echad. That's what it says in our tefillin. That there's only one God. That's it. Oh, what does Hashem have in his tefillin? Why? Because Hashem's saying you're the only love you are like a Ben Yahid, you're the only love. And therefore, Rabotai, you have to know one thing. You have to know that Hashem wants your kochot, your strengths that you have, as if you're the only child in the world that can give it out to the world. And it's true. No, by Jamal, isn't it not true? Are you the only child that Hashem has with your strengths and your abilities to give the right kavod to Hashem? Yes or no? Of course it's true. Nobody can argue against that. Because Hashem gave you certain abilities. Hashem wants you to use your abilities to bring out the honor of God. That's what He wants. And that's the tafkid of every single Jew in the world. And now, not only that, the Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin says, Lefichach nivra Adam Yahidi. Why did Hashem create the world? What was it? How did He create the world? With one person. Who was it? Adam. Why did He do that? He could have created the world with billions of people. What right now, right? There's a lot of people in the world. So Hashem could have created the world like that. Why did Hashem create the world with one person existing first? No? Chacham, what do you think? One person existing first. Why? What's the pshat? The pshat is that it's worth it for Hashem, in the sense where He's saying it's worth it for me to create the whole world just for one person. For you. That's what He's saying. That means when you're created, Hashem says, I'm creating the whole world just for you. That's it. My whole world, the sun, the stars, the moon, the galaxies, the world, the sea, the oceans, the lands, the whole world is worth it for me to create for you. Because what are you going to do about it? You're going to bring out the honor of Hashem. Yeah, is that clear? That's why it says that what? It says, Leficha, therefore, kol echad ve'echad chayav adam lomar, b'shvili nivra ha'olam. Every single Jew, what does he chayav to say? What does he chayav to say? What is he obligated to say? B'shvili nivra ha'olam. Because of me, Hashem created the world. Do you really believe that? No, seriously. You really believe that? No. Let's take a step back. Do you really believe Hashem created the world just for me?
Okay, so not you.
Do you believe it? For you?
Not you, only me.
But do you believe it? Do you believe it? Yes or no?
Doesn't make sense.
Does it make, what? I can't. So now Morris wants to make thumbs. He wants all considered one, and if it's like one, it's like exactly what I'm telling you. Don't veer off from what it says. You want an explanation? I'll explain it. But it says hayav. You are obligated. Hayav. It didn't say mutar. Hayav. You have a hayuv lomar to say b'shvili nivra olam. How can it be? How can it be the creator for me and not for you? How can it be? Well, it's created for me, not for you. For me. What are you doing? What are you doing on my earth? What are you doing on my earth? Hashem created for me. What are you doing there? You know what the answer is?
You know why he created?
I'm giving you the answer. Tonight, shiur, I'm giving you the answer. You know what the answer is? The answer is because Hashem is saying, you're the only one in the world that could bring out the honor of Hashem like nobody else. You heard? Lior, I'm answering you. You're the only one in the world that can bring out to the world the honor of Hashem, like the way you do it. Nobody else in the world can do it. So it's worthy that Hashem created the world just for you, so you could bring out the honor of the world from you to Hashem. Yeah, is that clear? Makes sense? Makes sense? Makes sense or no? Doesn't it make sense? So now, could you believe it? Hashem created the world just for me? Yeah, you know why? Because He wants for you to bring out the right honor to Hashem. That's what He wants from you. And that's why, you want to hear something amazing? You ever wonder, why is it that when somebody passes away, what do we do for him? We say Kaddish. We say Kaddish, right? You ever wonder why we say Kaddish? Why do we say Kaddish? Why do we say Kaddish? After somebody passes away, why do we say Kaddish? You know why? What is the Kaddish? We're saying Yitkadal, V'yitkadash, we're saying Shemer Haba. What does that mean? We're saying, Hashem, let your great name be known. What does that mean? What does that mean? Why when he dies do we say it? The guy's dead, let it be known. You know why? Because that guy that died is no longer giving the kavod of Hashem. He's gone. So we're saying, Hashem, we're missing that honor. The honor is gone. Please bring it back as much as you can in your own way. That's what we're saying. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemer haba. What are we saying? We're saying, God, this man or this lady that passed away, that was giving the honor to you, is not here no more. And that is lacking. We don't have that. So therefore we say the Kaddish, we're saying, please Hashem, the honor that's missing, please make sure that you handle it. Let it be great. Let your name be blessed. Hashem, please. We're just saying we're missing it, but we're still saying your name is great. Your name is blessed. You're right, we can never bring that back. But we're saying the Kaddish, and everybody's going to answer Amen. And when everybody's saying Amen, what are we trying to prove to you? We're trying to say, this man or this lady that passed away, that's no more, there's a lack in the whole world of giving the kavod to Hashem. Now don't get me wrong, don't think Hashem needs your kavod. Doesn't need your kavod. It's for you. Don't think Hashem needs your kavod. Doesn't need your kavod. Your honor Hashem doesn't need. It's for our own benefit. But at the end of the day, the honor of Hashem diminished when this man passed away. Why? Or when this lady passed away. Why? Because there's no person in the world that could bring out the honor of God except you in your unique way. And therefore, when the person passed away, we say Kaddish, we're saying Hashem, He's no longer. Please, we need your great name still to be honored properly. And therefore, we're saying the Kaddish. Yeah, Morris. Now you understand the cheshbon over here. Because again, nobody could bring out the honor of Hashem except for you. That's as an individual. Rabotai, I'm going to tell you a story after we shut the camera. Personal story. I'm going to tell you exactly right after. But listen, let's continue listening, please. And that's why, Leo, you understand what it means to say that the world was created for me. What do you mean? Now, let me explain. Let me go on a little bit. Let me go on, please. It says, it's brought down. It's brought down that in the same way, essence, I want to give you just two examples to this. One example I'll give you for ladies. One example I'll give you for men. You want to hear an example for ladies? Okay, even though okay, I'll give you the example for ladies first. Example for ladies. Example for ladies. A lady, like it says, the Gaon of Vilna explains, the greatest mitzvah for a lady is what? Is seniut. And it's brought down that Yehuda, Tamar, was zocheh for Nevi'im and Melachim to come out of her, for Melachim and Nevi'im, because she's so tzanua. Even in her father-in-law's house, she was tzanua, and therefore she was zocheh to have Melachim, kings, and Nevi'im from Tamar, because her tzniut. It's brought down also Kimchit, that she had 7 sons and they all became Kohanim Gedolim. Why? Because it's Tzeniut. Tzeniut for a lady is Keneged, it's a great Zechut. And that being said, no lady can give the Kavod Hashem, each lady to her own. Each lady to her own. The way their Tzniut is to her own. It's such a private situation that only she in the world could give that Kavod Hashemayim of her being Tzeniut, dressing Tzeniut, talking Tzeniut, walking Tzeniut. Tzeniut doesn't mean, when we say Tzeniut, it doesn't mean just dress. It's everything. It's the way you act, it's the way you speak, it's the way you walk, everything is Tzeniut like that. For a man, example, I'll give you one example, it's your learning. Nobody in the world can learn like you. Nobody in the world can learn like you. So when you're learning, you know how much pleasure you're giving to Hashem? Hashem misha amalo b'torah ve'ose nahar liyotzro. Again, Hashem doesn't need anything. But when you're doing it, Hashem is loving it. Hashem is loving it. And no person in the world can learn like you learn. You know how much people, they have different challenges how to learn. Some person, it might be, I'll never forget. I want to tell you something, a story that happened to me. I was walking one day, and it's a true story. There was an older avrech, kolel guy, and I would say he was mid-40s. Mid-40s, upper 40s, close to 50. And he was learning kolel full time. And he came over to me, and he said, he was telling me some things. He's not a rabbi, he's not a rebbe, he's not, no position, just sitting down and learning. And I saw him, I wanted to give him Hezuk. And I told him, I'm so jealous of you, I told him. He said, you jealous of me? He said, he tells me, you're a rabbi. You're all over, you have this, you have a shul, you have this. I was like, no, I'm jealous of you. He said, why are you jealous of me? I told him, because look, by me, imagine now, I go out, and I work, and I'm going to business. They're like, Rabbi, you're supposed to be in the Beit Midrash. What are you doing? So to me, if I'm not in the kollel, it looks awkward. Imagine you see the rabbi going around and in business, selling. Oh, you want to buy this? You want to buy that? I'm selling this. Rabbi, you're a rabbi. Go to Beit Midrash. So me being in kollel is in a way, it's challenging. If you don't see me in kollel, you're like, Rabbi, you're so weird. What are you doing? Where you going? Imagine you see me selling watches in the retail store. Oh, you want to buy this? You want to buy that? Oh, Rabbi, see him he's working on Amazon. Rabbi, you're the rabbi. You're my rabbi. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I know I understand, but you understand what I'm saying, right? You're right. I'm not getting into that right now. Leo, you understand what I'm saying a little bit? You understand what I'm saying a little bit? It's a little bit.
Imagine you saw the rabbi at the next
yeah, imagine you saw me Nick's ticket. So, like, what are you doing? You're a rabbi. What are you? Okay, is that clear, Kadash, or no? You hear what I'm saying, though, right? Imagine you're walking in the city and you see me behind the register. It looks awkward. It'll look awkward. So to me, to leave to do that, I'll have to think 10 times to do that. 3 times, 2 times. I have to think double thinking. This Avrek Kolel, nobody's looking at him. At the end of the day, he might say to himself, it's very easy to go and then to do whatever he has to do. So he says, you have nothing right now that's pushing you, and you're doing it l'shem shamayim more than anything else. By me, it's understandable. You're a rabbi, of course you should be in kollel. There's no tap on the back. Why shouldn't you be not in kollel? You're a rabbi, why not? This other person, he's bringing out a whole different kavod of shamayim. Understand what I'm trying to say? It's a different kavod of shamayim, and therefore every time you're behind the Gemara, you have to understand the way you're learning. Nobody else can learn the way you're learning. Nobody. And therefore the honor that you're giving to Hashem when you learn is like no other person in the world. Is that clear? Is that clear? I hope that's clear. 1 second. I'm almost done. Let me finish with this. Right? And therefore I want to tell you a story that happened. It's brought down in the Gemara. I want to bring this point home. It's brought down in the Gemara in Meseket Kedushin. Tano Rabbanan. Le'olam yireh adam atzmo ki'ilu chetzio hayav ve'chetzio zakai. You have to look at your view in the world that what? 50-50. One mitzvah that you do in the world, could tip the whole scale of the whole world. One habit I haven't been, could tip it to the negative. He said to himself, what does I have to do with anything in the world? Because you don't understand how kavod what you do, nobody else can do. And therefore, if you do an avon, and the world is 50-50, you could collapse the world. And the Gemara in Mesech Kedushin says, you have to believe it. The Rambam holds the halakha. This is the halakha. This is halakha l'maaseh. You have to believe it. At the time of doing mitzvah, you have to know this is what it is. There was a story, famous story with the Avnei Nezer, I believe it was the Avnei Nezer, how it was a Purim, and one time he was learning at a certain time, and he fell asleep a little bit, and he had a dream in his sleep that he was going to be zocheh for his son to be the biggest Tamei Chacham. And they said, why? He said, because at that time, nobody else was learning Torah except you. And therefore, Rabotai, you have to understand something. You have to believe that if you do this mitzvah, wow, I am lifting up. Why? Why do you have to believe that? The answer is very simple. Again, the whole thing turns to this. That you have a special uniqueness to yourself that nobody else has. Nobody else has. One time, you know the Saba Slabatka? You ever hear the Saba Slabatka? You know who his student was? The Alta Mislabatka. You know who his student was? You know who he was? Rav Aaron Kotler. You know he had many Talmidei Chachamim Gedolim. Should I tell you the story how he made them all Gedolim? You ready for the story how he made them all Gedolim? I'm going to tell you right now how he made them all Gedolim. There was one guy, Mars, please. There was one guy that came to the yeshiva. He came to the yeshiva and he brought in his son. And he says to the Sami Slabatka, this is my only child that I have. I'm begging you with all my heart, take care of him because he's the only child that I have. So the rabbi, as he's talking to him, a yeshiva bachur walks by. And he tells the Sava tells the father, you know who that kid is? You know who that little yeshiva bachur is? He says, who is that? He says, he is the only son that his father has. Oh, wow. So I'm not the only one that had one child. And then another boy walks by. Says, you see that boy? Yeah. That boy, he is the only child that his father has. Wow. This is wild. So I'm not the only one? Says, yes. And you see that boy walking by? He's another. And he's another. And he's another. The only child that he had. So then all of a sudden, Saba says, the father understood what the Saba Mislabatka is saying. You know what he was saying? Something very deep. He says, whenever any yeshiva guy comes into my yeshiva, I view him as the only yeshiva guy that I have. That's it. And when you view your student as if he's the only student that you have, how much are you going to invest in that student? How much? Rabbi Jamal, how much? You can invest all your strength. But what? It's a viewpoint that you have. And that's how the Saba Mislabatka was so successful. Because the way he viewed each student that he had in his yeshiva, he said, this is my only student that I have. So if it's my only student I have, I better make sure that the best comes out of it. You have to believe the same way. You're the only person in the world that can bring out the honor of God like you can do. And nobody else can do that. And therefore, Rabotai, our Rashi is so important. Because what is the Rashi is saying? Rashi is saying that the Bnei Yisrael are like Kohavim. They're like what? They're like stars. You're a superstar. There's nobody in the world that can do what you can do. And you know what confidence that is, by the way? I said this in one of the shiurim, that every single morning, when we say Modeh Ani Lefanecha, we say Modeh Ani Lefanecha Shechazarta Bi Nishmati Bechemla. What do we say, Morris? Rabbi Munatecha. Really, what we're saying is Hashem gave Hashem. What are we saying? We're saying we believe in you, Hashem, that you're going to give us back in Neshama, but there's something even greater. Rabbi Munatecha, we explained that Hashem has a lot of emunah in you, and therefore He says, "I believe in you. Let's do it again." Because again, you're the only person in the world. You like that star, like Rashi explained to us. You like that star. You're the superstar. Nobody can do what you can do. And when you know that Hashem's viewing you like you're the only child that He has, and you have to view Hashem, you're the only person that I have in my life, you will start serving Hashem on a whole different level. You will start serving Hashem on a whole different level. A lady with its niut, a man with his learning, a man with everything that he has to do to serve Hashem, he's going to make sure that he is medakdek. He's going to make sure that he is perfected with that situation. When we recognize this, we'll all bring out our potential, we'll all bring our kochot, we'll all bring our makdusha outside to serve Hashem the proper way.